What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. It's going to be a really, really fun one today. The team is already calling that I'm going to cry. We'll see. But I have a really special guest here, Miss Taeler DeHaze. I can't believe we've never had you on. Long time coming. Hi.
I feel like we've just been running parallel ships, you know?
I know. And now we're very, very much in the
yes,
same
we're
ship.
on the same boat.
We're in the same boat. So today we are talking about why and how we sold IFCA from two founder perspectives. So yeah, lots to unpack here. It's been a long time coming. So I'll start the story kind of from my side and we'll intersect kind of where Taeler came over, and we'll get into, why Taeler and how this decision became about and everything. So essentially about a year ago, I started wrestling with this question that was like, have I gotten this company to the edge of its competency? And it's a tough question. You have to check your ego when you start thinking thoughts like that. And I'm like, no, I'd have a day where I'd be like, I'm gonna dive back in, I'm gonna do it. But as you know, a lot of you guys listening know, I have I'll be one next week and a 3-year-old. And so a year ago, I just had my daughter, my second baby, and I just kept asking myself, is this it? Like, am I, do I want to do this? Am I at the edge of my competency here? Because if you're a business owner, you need time to work in the business. You need time to work on the business. And all of my time to work on the business was being dedicated to my kids. And I'd have a night where I'm like, okay, I want to do it. And then I'd be like, no, I don't want to do it. And I lived in that limbo for a really long time. And then I really dropped my ego and I said, well, what would I have to do, right? Like, what would I have to do if I was still saying I am totally dedicated to IFCA and I want this thing to continue to crush and I want all of our students to get really great results? And I said, I need help. I need to bring in help from the outside. I need to lower my ego. I need to be willing to fire myself. If anyone else in the company were like acting like me with my lack of drive, my lack of purpose, my lack of passion anymore, I would fire them. And so once I had the what, a lot of times this is the case in business, right? Once you have the what, the how you're going to get there becomes abundantly clear. And then immediately I had this thought. I was like, what if Taeler DeHaze was the CEO and owner of IFCA? Swear to God, that was my first thought. And I was like, well, that's weird. You can't just like reach out to someone and be like, hey, I had this really random thought. But I proposed to Jordan. I said, what if we started to think about selling this business and bringing someone in who could do it better and take it further? Because at first I was just like, Jordan, you want to do it? I'll peace out, be Pilates mom. I'll go do the thing. And he's like, hell no, not without you. Right. It's just like our whole thing. We started it together. And so once I finally got him on board, I do think you were the very first person that we talked to, because we reached out to Will. And Will, had you in mind, a couple other people in mind. This is where our stories kind of intersect. Take me to that point, like when Will reached out, and then
how the stars align.
What happened on your side? Yeah.
Yeah, I love sharing this because truly, just to give you a little background on my business, right? I had been running a 7-figure business for 4 years at this point, and I was just starting to get to a place in the industry where it was almost like the vision that I had, it wasn't going away, but I was really struggling to see how it was going to happen. Mm-hmm. Like, it almost felt like something bigger was coming, and I had no idea what this was, because I even spent that year relocating. I had an apartment in Cleveland. I had my house in Dallas. And so I was like, I need to change locations to not find myself, but like figure it out, because I had grown year over year over year, and I loved what I was doing. But I just wasn't growing where I wanted to. And I looked up to you guys and IFCA for a long time. And so when I think about like our paths crossing, right? I mean, you were the first person I followed on Instagram in 2012, which I still think is so funny. You're like an OG Fitfluencer. Obviously, you didn't know who the hell I was. And then like fast forward to 2021, I think it was, maybe early 22, I reached out to you because I had hit my first 100K month, and I really loved what you had built. And I asked you if you knew any mentors that would work with me, because you guys weren't working with coaches at that level. You introduced me to Will. I've been working with Will as my mentor for 4 years. And then this really ominous cryptic text on November 6th from Will, because he never texts me. It's always in Voxer. I mean, it takes a while for him to text you, So it was like, I got this message, and I was 3 days away from moving back to my house in Dallas, and it just said, check Voxer, you'll want to see this. at like 9:00 at night. And I'm thinking, okay, that's fucking weird. Why would you not just text me? I open Voxer. I get this 5-minute long voice memo of him basically saying, hey, would you be interested in buying another fitness coaching like business? And I was like, this is what I literally knew was going to happen. And I had no idea it was going to be you, obviously, or that I was going to be acquiring a business, but like it just felt truly cosmic because you are the only other coaching company in this industry that I believe shares the exact same mission, values, integrity as I do.
Yeah, I completely agree. So as we started like going down our list, you know, there were a lot of people we'd look at. A couple of them immediately, even just the way they responded to Will, or because we were trying to keep it on the low. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Where it was immediate fuck no. You're just an asshole. So many people in this industry are just assholes. And one of the reasons I've always liked you is just because like you've just always been nice. I don't know. I don't
You're
feel
just
like
not an asshole.
It's not that much to ask, but like you've always been nice. You've never, you know, we've always like supported each other and like been supporting the common mission in the industry. And I don't know why people have to play dirty, but anyway. You know, we'd reach out to people and there was like a spectrum, and there were competitors that are just like, heck no, I wouldn't even trust you with my dog, like let alone my business and my clients and my team and all these things I care about so much. And you're not going to take it to the next level with that attitude. You know, maybe you're doing okay and having some big months, but just no, right? People first, always. And then there were other businesses and competitors and people that we'd look at and they're like, they'd do okay. They have an I can see they have a vision, a future, and a skill set beyond my current level of competency. But so much would have to change about like my vision and where I'm taking things. And I'm just like, I just don't know. And then we even looked at like some adjacent industry people, like not like direct competitors, but say like adjacent, like think like supplement company, software company, things like that. And that were like, you know, there'd be a big value add there, big cross-pollination, different things. But still, it's not my vision for IFCA. Like I set out before I had kids, I was like, I promised the team and everyone inside it, I was like, we are going to be the fucking best. And we are going to get to 30 million. And this is a rocket ship and everyone inside it's going to have so much opportunity. And then when I had Jackson, that thought went away right away. But I wasn't ready to let go of the business. It was just like, I'm not boss babe scaling mode anymore, but like we're going to kind of keep it here and do this. We had some really great years. The business kept growing. As soon as I had Marley though, it was like, nah. Can't do this anymore. So anyway, we like started exploring our list, exploring our options, having a lot of good conversations. And as conversations like grew and grew and grew, I was just like, man, everything that Taeler stands for, everything that she's doing with her community, how much she cares. And this feels like silly and egotistical to say, but like you reminded me so much of myself like 5 years ago, just how in it I was. Even yesterday, like you're just on it. You have your icon meals. You are dialed in every aspect of your life. And I'm just like, man, I used to be like that. Like I used to just be like, you know, in Slack, like on it. And that is what got our company to the place that it was. And where we've sat and stopped has been when I'm just like, you know, my heart's somewhere else. And so just like watching you, watch how you operate, watching how you care so much, and our difference in skill set a little bit that I would love for you to speak on. Really where your expertise has lied in sales and DM setting and things like that, kind of like how you've figured some of that out.
I want to just highlight one thing you said before that, and that was something that I've noticed in this industry and why I really believe and know truly that this is going to be, you're going to look back and you're going to look at what I've done with your current team and you're going to say, that is still my legacy. Like I know that is what you're going to look at. And I think when you are selecting somebody, which there's kind of two parts to this. Number one, I was just expressing how I was feeling almost lost in this, like in the sauce, so to speak, of the vision. Not that I wasn't still going for the North Star, but it just felt like there were so many obstacles that like not a normal amount. Like I would fix something and something would break. And I'm like, God, what is going on? Like something just it needs to change. And I bring all that up because so many, or it's very rare, I think, that you would find another business owner who would let their legacy kind of set aside and truly adopt one without making a bunch of changes, right? Like I think there's so many people that would purchase IFCA
That's what I
would
kept running into.
hang on to a lot of the assets and then not give a damn about the team.
Yeah.
And your culture and your team is so similar to mine at just a larger scale. And the other thing too, for why I think you've been so successful and why you have a decade-long legacy is because you and I are such selfless leaders. Like, that's why for me, putting the name FCA aside, like one letter difference, but like putting that aside and being like, I don't care, and truly just adopting yours, like there was not even a thought in that, you know? But in terms of skill set differences, I know you mentioned like setting DMs.
Yeah.
I mean, we just started our businesses so differently.
So differently, like exact opposing skill sets. And like what's been working so well for us is inbound, VSL, you know, like come. And what I've been struggling with is the thing that you're so good at. And I like, if I could hire, like I should have hired a consultant a long time ago to fix that part. And so as I look at the end of my competency and I say, take it from here, it's like, look at our numbers. These are exact things you need to fix that are so good inside of your company.
It's such a grimy thing to be good at.
But if you can be good at that, you can be good at anything.
No, sure. But
Truly.
I think for me, like, right, like, you know, when I brought up the fact that I followed you 15 years ago or whatever, right? Like, you grew your Instagram, you know, naturally, obviously, right? But when you opened the doors, people came to you, right? And when I was laid off from my career and started coaching, I just started messaging everybody.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was. I wasn't like, oh, this is a DM strategy. Yeah. I mean, the word outreach was not in my vocabulary. I was just like, I have to talk to people. And I know that if I talk to people and I just talk on my stories a lot, someone's got to like buy, right?
Yeah.
And that's what works, right? And so, you know, we were talking yesterday even on the culture call, and I've been chatting with some of your coaches where my clients that are making 7 figures a year are doing it organically.
That's so nice, you guys. Like, if you have ever not paid Meta, like, if you don't know what that feels like, that's good. That's good for you.
And, you know, I hit my first 7 figures in 2 years organically.
Yeah, which is so impressive.
And I think that's kind of like the TV background and the marketing experience. And so, you know, I coach ads with my clients, absolutely. But I have just found better success if I just teach them how to get scrappy and grimy, because it's almost like door knocking. Like, you have to door knock before you can kind of level up, right? And I think far too many people use ads as the easy button, even if you're not coaching it like that, it's the crutch. Because so many people right now are saying like, organic is dead. And I'm like, it is very much not dead. I think that to this point now, like, I'm spending, you know, a ton on ads, obviously, right? But the fact that my team is still doing a ton of outreach, like outbound, it just makes the retargeting process so much better. Like, I don't know. So I think like I mastered the art of having a conversation very early, and that made ads so easy because it's kind of like, okay, you can run ads, but your marketing's bad, your messaging is bad, you don't know how to track a KPI. Like, there's too much responsibility when you haven't just proven you can fucking commit to conversing.
Yeah. And what are ads for? Ads are to get leads. Okay, cool. It doesn't guarantee you're going to get clients. Yeah. So then that's where so many people do get stuck. Organic's the same way, right? Like, you can be good at content, cool. But doesn't mean they're like going to come all the way in your funnel, knock on your door, get a phone call with you. Most often the gap we see with our students is that lead to nurture, that lead to booked call. And so like, what I think is so impressive about what Taeler has done is starting with a very small audience. And that's most people. Right? Like, it's not easy. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but in 2026, it's not easy to build a huge audience, really. You may get lucky. It may happen, but you're betting on a lot of luck. So really kind of 3 ways to do it that we always talk about, right? You can have an audience, you can have a network, or you can have money. If you have one, you can get the other ones, right? So you're just like, I'm going to go out on my feet and build the network. And that's the way a lot of people have to start, because most people don't want to start a business with, hey, I have tons of cash. I want to pay you guys. I want to dump it into ads. Or if they come to us and they're like, I have this huge audience, that's great. We can help you. We can go from there, right? But I think really the skill set that you have is just so applicable to, I can teach anyone to do this. And that's like what I've seen from your students is like, most of them don't have large followings, which I think is pretty cool.
No, I would say that on average, my clients are anywhere from about 2,000 to 8,000 followers. Yeah. And consistently 30K to 80K in recurring revenue. Like that's not just fast cash,
Yeah,
which I love
yeah,
too, because
yeah.
what is also popular in this industry
Yeah.
is the 30-day testimonial. And those people are DMing me 6 months later because they have no business.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's been, and that's going to be a campaign that we kick off here really soon, talking about actually building that sustainability and MRR in your business. But that's been our thing all along. Like if you look at 2 VSLs ago, it was like LTV and talking to people about, sustainability in your business. And, we share our story of like when I had my son, my dad passed away the week prior. I was just like, ow. I was like, I don't care if the business crumbles, whatever. I'm taking time off. I have to be with my family. And the business not only did not crumble, it thrived. I mean, it was built on a solid foundation because day one of the month, we would look at our books and we'd have $400K in monthly recurring revenue and AR and contracts coming in. And it's so many people, I think, in this industry are short-sighted because they haven't been here long enough, right? How long have you been business coaching exactly?
Business coaching, 5 years technically.
That's like 20 years in this industry. We're like dog years. Like if you stick around in this kind of business for that long, that's a long time. We've been in it for 8 years. You learn after a while, right? You learn okay, you can have this spike, you can have this good month. And that's why we see so many people, fitness coaches and business coaches, come and go, like quick flashes in the industry. And that's why I do feel so confident handing this off to you, because you have sustainability, you have like methods, you understand that. The other thing that you said around just legacy and doing it the way that, like we would do it. Not that you're not me, so you're not going to do everything exactly the way I've done it. I've already, talked to team members about that. I'm like, it's going to be different and change is great, right? However, where was I going with this? There was a point when you were talking that I wanted to make really bad.
Integrity, core values, mission, vision.
Along the lines of
sales,
not selling to. Oh yeah. Okay, so kind of back to like when we decided to sell this business, I was really upfront with Will and told him, here are like my goals and my non-negotiables. I said, money and top dollar is not the number one. I'm not looking for, oh my God, look at this huge payday, top dollar. And that it was funny because I was tested with that. Like we actually had better offers and I was like, no, this is true. Like I truly don't want to take this money because what I want from this is I want to make sure all of our team members, you can't guarantee anyone's career, right? Like if someone comes in, they completely fuck off, yes, fire them, please do that. But I want to guarantee the safety and security and stability of our team who has earned it, who has been there. I don't want to see some kind of like private equity or someone with a different vision come in and go, okay, cool, thanks. I'm going to take like all the assets, but do this different thing with your people. I want to ensure that. I also want to ensure speed of transition because we've been through this one other time with our fitness coaching company and we kind of just played with the idea, talked back and forth with the buyer for a year. We thought our close took a minute. That took a year. And in the year, we just all lost focus and the company just kind of started, we joked that it was like our stepchild who never got any attention and it just kind of started to like diminish and, things weren't going great over there. And I said, I don't want that to happen. That's not fair to anyone inside of the company. So we want speed and we want vision. And those were a couple of things that I feel like we have executed really well together. We did just sign the APA yesterday.
Oh, Jordan did too?
I mean, I don't know. I'm saying we did.
Listen, like wrestling Jordan has been part of this battle, but no, I'm just kidding. Jokes aside, it's been so like, I think that we've honestly moved really fast, and Will was kind of prepping me about this a while ago. And, something that I think I've mentioned this to you, but he brought this up to me, and we referred to this as the NDA conversation before we just like would never say IFCA. I was like, yeah, let's talk about the NDA conversation, the NDA thing. And I just remember saying, once I found out that it was you guys, I just said, hey, listen, I know you're all about learning experiences. I'm not going through this if this is a test.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just not, because I will fight so fucking hard. Like, I don't care what somebody's going to offer them. Like, I am going to prove that I am the best fit. Like, and then I'm like, okay, competitive Taeler's out. You know what I mean? Like, and then it just forced me to also like level up, because, you know, last night, like, all of our cash came in for April, and we just had our highest cash month in the business year to date.
Nice.
And so I feel like as you're ready to kind of walk away, I'm like, dude, I'm so fucking ready to kill it. Like,
well, that's a really, really awesome testament with everything else you have going on, right? Like, trying to buy a business that's added a lot of workload to you. And I have done the opposite. I've gone, all right, I'm in addition to my normal job, and every day I'm proven that I'm making the right choice. People ask me all the time, do you regret it? Do you want to go back? Are you having second thoughts? No. Every day I prove to myself that I'm not the person who needs to be doing this. Like, I'm just not showing up consistently with my actions. Every time I hear, here's where I start to cry if I mention my kids. Every time I hear like one of my kids outside, I'm just like, what are they doing? Maybe I should go over there. Are they having a meltdown? Maybe I need to go intervene. And like, no, I don't. Like, I have child care out there. They're fine, right? But it's like, where your focus goes, your energy flows. And for a really long time, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, I was just hard driving in this business. Like, Jordan jokes that he could never get any attention from me back then, because I was just like, I don't give a fuck. I have a business. I don't need a husband. And then 2022, I had my son. And I don't know if it was the difference between having a boy or having a girl or just timing or whatever. But I feel like when I had my son, I said, okay, what example do I want to set for him? Well, I want to show him that women are strong and they're capable and they do all these things and blah, blah. And I would just I took 6 days off from maternity leave and I was back. I remember Vince Pitstick saying, like, I've never seen a woman just like stop, pop out a baby, and keep full sprint in business. But I was just like, I'm focused. I don't know. And then right around the time I wanted to get pregnant again, I swear to God, it was like the minute we realized it was a girl. I was just like, she needs me to be someone different. I need to like soften up. And I fought it so hard, because this is like an identity crisis. I was like, no, like, soft. What does that even mean? Like, slow down. What does that mean? And every day I've just kind of been like, no, this is like, my heart is being pulled so badly in this direction. And I just can't even fight it at this point. I sit down and tell myself I'm going to hammer it out and I'm going to have a day and I'm going to do XYZ with the sales team. And then I just don't. And I'm like, okay, this is the right thing to do. Like, to, hand this over, to check my ego. And I'm just so happy that our paths crossed. And I'm like, I feel so good about it, right? Imagine like, maybe if you're listening and you don't have a business that you've been growing for 8 years, maybe you have a kid. Imagine like truly giving your child over. That's what I feel like I'm doing. I'm like, I've helped them to this point. They're going off to college. Please take good care of them. I mean, they're pretty responsible. They can do most things on their own. That's how I feel about our team. But yeah, what are you most excited for?
I just wanted to like add one little thing, because I want to make it clear, like, this sounds weird out loud, but it's not like you and I were friends, right? Yeah. And so what I think is so interesting for me is these last few years, like, we've spoken on, the same stage, we've been at the same events, and we've said hi. Mm-hmm. But like, what's interesting is you saying that I was top of mind for you, and I'm thinking, oh, you've been watching me? Like, you just never know.
I was watching you and getting a little triggered by you for the last year.
Nice.
Yeah. Because I'm like, this bitch is better than me. She wants it more than me. It was when I was going through my whole identity crisis. I'm like, fuck, I cannot compete with this. And that's what I mean when I say, like, check my ego. Like, as you're posting all these transformations and success that you're having, I'm just like, why can't I do that?
There was literally a moment, like, this is so serious. If you were to go look at my sales huddles from the first 6 months of 2025, the amount of times I referenced you guys and needing to like beat you all is so high, because I was like, there's no one else. Like, I have to surpass them.
And then you just bought it instead.
Yes,
right. The ultimate
But
move.
that's just so funny to me, because I also remember there was a point in time, and I guess it was maybe like early last year too, or something, where I was like, Erin's like watching a lot of my stories. Yeah. Like, I would just see your little icon, But that's so funny to hear that from your perspective, because I'm thinking like, okay, you've had your eye on me. Obviously, I'm thinking of the company, because same thing. Like, you have built a like a legacy that I cannot compete with, or a reputation, right? And so I often get the question in my DMs, well, we're talking to this company and why you? Why are you different?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's like, I'm so tired of answering that question.
It was a really tough one to answer for a little while too, because it was just like, I don't know, like
Ads.
Well, and I really like in the back of my head, it was like, she's working way harder than me. She wants it more than I do. Like, I just like, I could like lay it back on my team. Like, I put our team against anyone in the industry, but me as a founder, like I knew you had me beat. So I was getting hit with that a little bit. I'm like, fuck, like that was helping me make my decision. Cause like when a prospect, like sales is telling the truth, right? It's like really telling the person where they need to go. And when I started to realize like, I just need to tell the truth here. And I'm like, well, what the fuck do I do with my company now? Either I have to completely shift my identity back or I have to do this. And I'm like I said, I'm so happy we're to this point and making this decision. And like, I'm so excited for everyone inside of the container who's going to get a benefit from it, from your end and from my end.
Yeah, I mean, from the people that I've met on the team, like on your team, right? Everybody has been super welcoming. Obviously different personality types, but I mean, I don't think there's been anyone, at least that's gone back to you and had a concern. Like I think everybody's just excited because everybody on your team truly
they know me pretty well.
Well, and they also like are not like they want to grow more, right? Like they want more opportunity, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I recently had just even from me posting some like cryptic stories yesterday, I had one of your coaches reach out and say, I'm going to be in that room. And I was like, let's see what you got.
I love that.
Like, let's fucking see it then, you know? And my team is just like, damn, okay, like we didn't beat them, so we just fucking bought them. Like, let's go. Like, okay. So like, it's just going to be, I think, synergistically so fun. And I'm excited for this to kind of, just to see what the next like 60, 90 days look like. Yeah. You know, because
let's talk about that. Kind of how we like set ourselves up in that way.
Yeah. I mean, I changed your mind because you wanted to be out day one.
I was like, take the keys and I am pulling the ripcord and I'm gone. And then I started having a little bit of fun as we started working together.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a voice note where you were kind of thinking that you would have to make all the decisions. And I think after just spending a little bit of time with me, you realized it hopefully wouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
But I think keeping you in like your true zone of genius as we focus on sales first and sales culture first. I think Jordan's perspective too, like, because here's the thing, like, we don't want to disrupt anything for either of our clients, right? And I think for somebody like me who's extremely involved in coaching, right? Coaching all my clients, they're like, is mom leaving?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I got you, sweetie. We're gonna keep going. But now you have so much more. And then your clients, it's just really about hyping them up for like something new, better. Not even better, just like different.
Oh, it'll be better. Yeah. Especially like with the way we're starting this.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times people fear change when like someone hands over a company because it's like, oh, what if they don't have the context? What if they don't know? Like, what if they don't know my business? What if they can't support me? And at first, this has been an emotional process. And I'm like literally 12 months postpartum. So I've been fucking through it in the last 12 months. And I made this decision when I was like just after I had a baby. So many people are like, were you in your right mind? I'm like, I don't know, but I'm sticking with it. This is where I'm going. But anyway, it's been a lot of ups and downs. So obviously I've had my moments where I'm like, I think I'm just out. Like, here, Taeler, like I said, take the keys. You're good, you got it. And then as we started working together, we're like, what's going to set IFCA up for best chance of success? And what's like, also I had to get my head around like, what's going to be fun? What's going to be a good time? Because for the longest time in business, it hasn't felt that fun for me because I've just been every day battling with, do I want to do this? Can I do this? Can I focus? Can I give it what it needs? And now knowing I have your support and I have me, you, and Jordan all in the business for a period of time, I'm like, all right, this is going to be fun again. It's going to feel back like it felt 5 years ago, before I was a mom. And I don't want to call that a burden, but it is, like, right? You're just like, you have a whole other life. So I'm really excited to see what the three of us can do, putting our heads together and just like take all the things that have worked well for you over the last 5 years, take all the things that we know well. After we end this podcast, we have a whole day of filming and then a whole tomorrow day of filming, like the three of us doing that together. I just feel like we're going to be unstoppable. You look at everyone else in the industry and they're chugging along, they're doing their thing, but like, this is like two forces combining. And before I wasn't thinking about it like that. I was thinking like, all right, hand over. But I'm like, no, we really have this golden potential here to do something all together really big. And I think it's going to be cool and disruptive.
Oh, for sure. I mean, yes, the way that, like I said, our mission, our values, like they're damn near identical, just phrased maybe a little bit differently. And that's why I think it's going to be awesome. How do you feel handing your business over to somebody that's not a mom?
Oh, so good. I was so much better at business before I became a mom.
I'm going to make you retract that reel.
Dude. Yeah, right.
So listen, so TBT to when I was triggered by Erin. Yeah. I love that we were just like triggered, but I love that. But I will never forget, again, this is my beginning of 2025 where I was just like, what the F, man? Because I remember this other popular business coach in the space, like, had a baby, and then now this person was like softer, and I'm like, ugh. And then Erin was like, I would never hire a business mentor who wasn't a mom, and I'm like, well, fuck me that I don't have children. Okay, what's my angle?
Yeah.
So I just was joking about that with you the other day, but no, listen.
You gotta throw stones.
I get it. I just didn't have that stone to throw. I'm like, well, don't hire a mom. Like, God no, I'm gonna get canceled. But I am like literally so stoked. It's gonna be so fun, truly.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people can do it. I could not run an 8-figure baby. It is an 8-figure baby, an 8-figure business and balance 2 babies. Yeah. 1, I was fine. 2 was my limit. And really it was like so much of like what you want to do, right? You know, Jordan and I, we've gotten to this point in our lives where we're really, really fortunate, where we truly, like, we can just retire to our family. We don't have another business planned. We don't have anything that we're wanting to do. That's why I'm like, I think you're going to still find us at IFCA a lot. So yeah, just like, you know, it's life, it's seasons. And I feel really good about being able to hand this over to someone who it's their full intent and focus. Because in this kind of business, you know, as a fitness coach, you guys get it. Like, they're buying you. You got to be on. You got to be like, you know, your shower thoughts, all your things. And when you have children, those drift and they look differently. And for me, it was just like, it's the most unselfish thing I can do right now to set everyone up inside of it. Because trust me, I had my moments where I was like, do I just burn it? Am I just like, just today, am I just like, everyone, your contract's ended? Like, I had days where I was like, do I just do that? We're like, no, this is going to set everyone up for great success. And I'm pumped. But thanks,
I'm just
Taeler.
ready. I'm ready for the keys. You know,
I'm so ready. I'm so ready. Well, thanks so much. Any final parting words that you would like to share with our audience?
I would just say that while I am stepping into larger shoes, I know that with the support, the confidence, the competence, the skill set, I think that 1 year from now, you're going to absolutely look back and say, I made the right choice. Mm-hmm. So,
I have no doubts.
Across team and student. So I'm just ready to go.
Cool. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.